If you want to be able to maximize your independence, all you have to do is master one key movement, the sit to stand. Because if you can't stand up from a chair without using your hands to help you, that's often the first real sign that something is changing. I've worked with thousands of adults over age 60, and there is nothing more concerning to me than someone who struggles to stand up from their chair. And here's the important part. You might think you're totally fine, but if you need your hands to help you up, that counts as a struggle. After watching this video, you'll understand why needing your hands to stand is such a problem and what you can do about it starting today. There's a simple test I want you to try, but first, I'm going to tell you about a common scenario that I see all the time with patients. I often have patients who need their hands to help assist them when standing up from their couch. And you know what? They don't think it's a concern since they can still get up. But then here's what happens next and why you should really care about your ability to stand up. These patients will end up in the hospital with something actually quite common, like pneumonia or the flu. And when they get discharged, you can probably guess what happens next. They can barely stand up at all. A few days of bed rest is not ideal for the adult human body, which is why if you don't have the strength reserves built up now, it can quickly become a big issue. Because people who can't get up on their own can't live on their own. Now, if this is truly that important, then why doesn't your doctor address it with you? You might be wondering. They monitor many health markers like your blood pressure, cholesterol, and your body weight, but they never touch on your sit to stand ability. Well, they don't have time for everything with you, and often leg strength is not on their list. But I can tell you this, when someone gets so weak that they can't stand up, that's often when doctors do start to care. But that's also when it's too late. I want you to try this right now. Stand up from your couch without pushing off with your hands. That's it. For some of you, that was probably fairly easy. But if it wasn't, or you had to rock forward, use momentum, or didn't feel fully confident doing it, that's a problem that you must address now. But as we talked about before, if this path continues, one day you won't be able to get up at all. Think about what your life would look like if you actually couldn't stand up from your couch, or your toilet for that matter. Plus, there's a few other reasons why you should care about how well you do this one movement. Not being able to get up smoothly means you're less stable walking. You know those people that you see walking into the grocery store very slowly with tiny steps, and they look like they could maybe take a stumble at any minute? That doesn't happen overnight, yet it is connected to how well you stand up from a chair. And if you're thinking that you're stable since you don't use a cane or even a walker yet, I guarantee that your steps are shorter and your walking speed is actually slower than it probably should be, both of which are putting you at risk for falling down in the future. Second, stairs are going to be more difficult for you. Why? Well, both standing up from a chair and doing stairs are bending your knee under the weight of your body. Fairly similar movements that rely heavily on your quad muscles. If you're weaker than you should be getting up from a chair, you're going to be weaker on those stairs too. In this case, that means you'll have to rely more on the handrail and you'll be less and less confident going down those stairs as the years progress. And I can promise that if you need your hands to stand up from a chair, getting off the floor won't be possible. And finally, it's an indicator that you don't strength train. Not strength training is one of the biggest mistakes you could be making if you care about your future. You want to know the patients I work with who never have to think twice about standing up from their chair? The ones who have been strength training for most of their life. And if you're thinking that there's just no way you can spend hours in the gym, well, I don't blame you. Too many people have been led to believe that, and it's simply just not needed to get stronger. I have a simple solution I'll get to that you can use to start improving your leg strength so that you can get out of a chair effortlessly again. But first, you need to realize that the mistake you don't want to make is the one that so many adults fall victim to. Thinking that using your hands to stand up is just a normal part of aging, and then it becomes automatic every single time you stand up. And the problem with that is taking away thousands of repetitions from your legs over the next many years. That's like just asking to get weaker. Living normal life presents you with a chance to use your legs, but then you instead use your arms. So how do you actually get strong enough so you'll never need your hands to help you out of a chair? Step one is to practice. And step two is not to overthink it. You don't need to wait for the gym or sometime next week to start, because that's the mistake that stops a lot of adults from ever getting started. So start right now. If you're using your hands to help you, here are 2 different ways that you're going to practice. First, practice from a lower height, like a soft chair or couch, using your hands to assist you up. Build up to at least 15 repetitions from that height. And then you'll also practice from a taller height. Use a firm kitchen chair, or you can place a pillow or two or some thick blankets under you from that same couch that you're already using. You should be high enough that you don't have to use your hands to help you. Now practice from there as well, and over time, you'll be able to reduce the height that you can get up from without needing to push off. Start doing this, and not only will you stand up stronger, but the strength gains you've made will pay off with all aspects of your daily mobility. Now, if you're like most of my patients, you're probably wondering how long that you should do this for. The answer is forever.